Yo, hey, this shit easy, nigga. Hey, all I'm talking about, nigga, I'm still out here trying to get it.
Contender Regime Boxing, checking back in with y'all, man. What's good? Montana Too Pretty Love successful in his first big step up fight versus Ivan Baranchyk on the Jake Paul and Tyron Woodley undercard. To be quite honest with you, this was the most interesting fight of the night. This is the only fight that I was truly interested in and intrigued to watch. This was a huge look for Montana Love, and he performed beautifully, and he rose to the occasion, and he took advantage of the opportunity. You really don't hear a lot about Montana Love. I really only heard things about him in, sparring guys like Tank Davis, and I know he's from Cleveland, Ohio, and if you just pay attention to his style and his whole swag and everything, he reminds you of an Ohio Midwest dude, got a lot of swag, a lot of flavor, a lot of, very flamboyant, and he reminds you a lot of Adrian Broner, who is from Cincinnati, Ohio. You could tell, even though they both from Ohio, those guys, they got that type of flavor and that flair there, but you could tell that he has a lot of influence from Adrian Broner. You can go back to a video that I saw on social media from Montana Love. This was like 3 or 4 years ago, where he was doing like some type of routine on the pads, and him and his coach on the mitts. I mean, they had like a whole routine. That shit had dance moves and all type of shit in it. You know what I'm saying? And that's the first time I really ever seen Montana Love, and I had always wanted to see him fight, but really never got a chance to see him live in action in the ring. And it's a great thing that the first time I'm really just seeing him fight a full fight versus a live opponent under the lights was versus a very credible guy in Ivan Baranchyk, who had 2 losses versus Zepeda and Josh Taylor. But Ivan Baranchyk was, he was a very strong opponent, and he's put on some good performances in his career. And when you consider the fact that Montana Love is unheralded, there's not much news or talk about him. He's not being promoted by any major promoter or network or anything like that. And I don't believe that he's ranked, at least before last night, he isn't ranked in any major sanctioning body. You know what I'm saying? So, and Baranchyk is ranked. This guy's a former world champion. So for Montana Love to get a huge opportunity like this versus a guy of this caliber, and I'm not saying that Baranchyk is some world beater or anything like this, but I'm trying to keep this in perspective. If you look at Montana Love's resume, he ain't been in there with no credible guys. Like, this is the first time that he's got an opportunity to really show his skills versus somebody that you can match up with other good fighters, incredible names, and a guy that was a former world champion. Montana Love ain't fought nobody before last night. He hadn't been in the ring in a live pro fight against nobody that was anywhere close to Ivan Baranchyk. You know what I'm saying? So this was a huge moment for him in his hometown in Cleveland. And as we know, there's a lot of pressure with fighting in your hometown. So he went out there and he performed. But another thing, like I told y'all, if you go back to Adrian Broner, when he fought in Cincinnati versus Emmanuel Taylor, in my personal opinion, that's like top 3 Adrian Broner performances. That's probably my personal favorite performance by Adrian Broner, and it was a hometown fight in a small ring, just like Montana Love just fought in. And it's kind of like these, I don't know, it's something about them Ohio dudes, bro. They rise to the occasion when it's a hometown fight, and they don't let that pressure get to them. You know what I'm saying? So, man, I was thoroughly impressed with Montana Love, and I was impressed with just the fight overall. Baranchyk gave him some different looks that really forced Montana to bring different things out of him. He posed a few different threats. He had a mean overhand right that he was trying to throw. He had a nice left hook that he was trying to land. But Montana Love's defense was very, very sharp. I was really impressed with Montana's his foot movement, his head movement. He did get caught with one big shot. I believe it was a left hook. It was like a wild left hook, and it landed right on the chin. And I don't necessarily think that punch hurt Montana Love. I think that he got caught clean and off balance, so he was a little shaky. But I don't think he was really hurt because he responded in phenomenal fashion. I mean, he recovered quickly. He responded well. He came back out sharp and focused and poised. He didn't look like he was hurt. He didn't look like the moment was too big, like he was second guessing himself. I will say this, that I know he's a showman, and part of his game, part of his style, his whole personality is to put on a show, to be flamboyant and celebrate. I did think that he celebrated a little bit too much. He landed a straight left that visibly hurt Baranachek, and then soon as he landed the shot, he turned to the crowd, you know what I'm saying, beating his chest, raising his hand, celebrating and shit. I'm like, that shit look fly, but man, finish the job, you know. But he obviously knew something that I didn't know. You know, I knew he was skilled, and I knew he had the ability to perform and do the things that he did, but I haven't really seen it from him. So I guess at that point he was just playing with his food, you know what I'm saying? And he knew he was gonna break this dude down and get him out of there. I loved how Montana Love boxed very, very sharp on the back foot. He was very slick, very swift, good jab, you know, solid jab, a really nice straight left. And he really used angles and foot movement effectively. And when it came down to, all right, now I need to press on the gas and go get this man out of here, he did just that. And I was impressed with him being able to switch gears and go to another level at the right time, because you notice in that the round before he stopped Ivan, and then in the round that he stopped him, he was like, all right, you seen a different level of intensity where he pressed on the gas and he started throwing more punches. Because at first I was like, man, okay, yeah, you boxing good, but let your hands go a little bit more. But I mean, like I said, he had a game plan and he was breaking this guy down, and ultimately he pressed the gas and walked him down, and he started letting combinations go, and he landed that ever so beautiful lead left uppercut that ultimately put Baranachek on his ass. He went to the corner. He didn't come out of the corner. So, and I didn't even think that he was going to get up from that punch. You know what I'm saying? So, man, I was very impressed by Montana Love, and I hope to see this guy in the future. He's only 26 years old. He's now 16-0 with 8 knockouts, I believe. So I would like to see this guy, you know, number one, get signed with a major promotional company or network so he can kind of get his name bigger, because a guy like this that have this type of flair, this type of personality, people need to see him, and he need to be promoted. Now, if he can find a way, you know, get some in-house stuff going and promote his own self and go the independent route, I'm with that too. As long as you do it right and you get that publicity and that coverage and exposure that you need to take your career to the next level. But I would like to see this guy get ranked. After this fight, he should definitely be ranked in at least two of the four, maybe even 3 of the major sanctioning bodies at 140. And I want to see him get in there with some of the top guys at 140, or at least, you know, some of the like top 10, top 7 guys, you know what I'm saying, and work his way up and just really see what he can do versus the best and the who's who of the 140-pound division. And maybe one day he can have some success at 147. So y'all let me know what y'all think down in the comments. What did y'all think of Montana Love's performance versus Ivan Baranachek? What did you think about that fight? Y'all let me know what y'all think down in the comments, man. Oh, and y'all see that I'm doing the top 10. Now, I'm going to do this with other divisions as well, but we're going to start off with the Glamour division of boxing, the welterweight division, 147 pounds. I'm taking the top 10 Ring Magazine rankings, and we're gonna do a tournament. Since we ain't getting that shit in boxing in real life, we gonna just mix things up. And I think this would be fun for us to interact and let y'all vote and pick and choose who's gonna advance to the next round. So we're gonna do a top 10 bracket for the top 10 rankings based off of the Ring Magazine rankings. And you know, it's gonna be 5 fights. Of course, it's 10 fighters, and it's gonna be high seed versus lower seed. I already put out the Manny Pacquiao. I started with the lowest seeds. You know what I'm saying? So not the lower seeds, but I started off with the more even matches. So I have I've already put out the Manny Pacquiao and Virgil Ortiz, and then Sean Porter and Danny Garcia. So y'all go vote on those, and we'll be dropping those throughout the week, and then the following week we'll advance to the next round, and then we'll see who come out to be the winner. And this is based off of y'all voting, so I'm not picking these people. I'm gonna put the winner based off of who y'all vote, and everybody will be able to see the results from the vote. So we'll start off with the welterweight division first, and then we'll move and probably do lightweight, or you know what I'm saying, whatever we go to next, y'all will see it in the community. So go to the community and vote on that, man. Contender Regime Boxing. I'll holler at y'all boys, man.